Guys, you are welcome to another HTML and CSS tutorial with Flourish Field Academy. And in today's lesson, we would be designing the navigation of our web page, of our travel agency web page. And now the navigation of this web page consists of our logo and some links, just two things. So we need to create the structure and also design. So first, let's create the structure for our navigation. Now, we'll go right back to our HTML, and it's also important to note that although we added the link to our favicon in the head, whatever thing we need to work to do in our HTML has to go in between the body. Like we said earlier, the head is a special tag. So except we really need to put something in the head tag, then we should keep away from it at all costs. So right now, we're going to be working in the body. Now to create a navigation in HTML, we'll be needing the help of tags. Like I said earlier, it's impossible to do anything at all in HTML without the use of tags. And in navigation is no different. So to create a navigation, I'll use a nav tag. Now, this nav tag is going to be the container for our entire navigation, And that container is very important as it will help us create separations between the logo and the rest of the links. Now, having done that, I'll need an image. The image is going to be the image of the logo. And to do that, I'll need a tag. Now, inside of the nav, I'm going to have an image tag, img. Now, in that image, I will have the image of our logo, and that is called logo web PNG. So just like I did it earlier for the favicon, I'll do the same /assets and logo web PNG. Now for the links, there are 5 different links. So it means I have to group them. Now to group them, we use a div. Divs in HTML act as a container. It is used to group a lot of items together. So whenever you put items in a div, HTML sees all those items as one because a div acts as a container. It holds any item, as many items as you want together. So I'm gonna create a div, and in that div, I'm gonna have links. And those links would be links of an ordered list. And I'm going to have about 5 links. And the first is going to be home. The second, let me see that. Oh, first is destinations, hotels, and then flights. Destinations. Hotels. And we got flights. Flights. We still have a few more rather. Bookings, login, and sign up. Yep. Bookings. Got log in. And you've had sign up. Now we've been able to successfully create the navigation. And let's take a look at what it looks like. I'm sure you wouldn't like what it looks. Currently, this looks far from the expectation. This is what we expect our navigation to look like, but it currently isn't what it is looking like. So to make sure that it looks exactly like this, because I can tell you for free, with the help of HTML, we've gotten the structure correctly. So to make it look exactly like this, then we need the use of CSS. CSS, as we said, holds styling information, some set of instructions for styling for our HTML. So now we need to create the CSS file. And to do that, I'll right click again, just like I did for HTML. And I'm going to come up with a name for the file. Of course, same rules apply as we did earlier. We have to make sure we do not start the name of our CSS file with a number. We do not start with a special character, and try to avoid the use of spaces. Now, the name of my CSS file, I would call it style. Now, this style is going to be the name of my CSS. And again, just like we did with the HTML, we would need an extension. Like I said, extensions tells us more about a file. And since this is a CSS file, my extension is going to be .css. And I hit enter. And here we go. We have successfully created our own CSS file. But currently, our HTML is not aware of that CSS file. So we need to link this CSS to the HTML so that whenever we write styling instructions to the CSS file, the HTML is going to pick those styling instructions and make the effect. Now, to link the CSS to the HTML, now we go back to the head again. Remember, we only use the head when we need to make our HTML aware of the presence of other files. Now, to do this, I'll use the link tag, and this time I'm going to be linking CSS. And the name of my CSS is style.css. So let's make sure that we have the correct link, style.css. And let us check to be sure that it is properly linked to check. I'm just going to write a few short style body, and let's just check if my CSS is properly linked. And yes, it is properly linked. So far, we've been able to create the structure for our navigation bar. We've also been able to create our CSS file and link it to our HTML. In our next video, we would be talking more on CSS, and we will be styling our navigation bar. See you guys in our next video.